Humanism is the belief of the value and power of the human beings, and humans are the most advanced species emotionally, mentally, and technologically, and they are the core of everything in life. According to David Hume, it is evident that all the sciences have a relation, more or less, to human nature. Even mathematics, natural philosophy, and natural religion are in some measure dependent on the science of man. But what if a human can be more than that? Can we possibly imagine ourselves as anything else other than humans? It's not easy to know that one day we could be replaced or changed and we will no longer identify ourselves as humans. But the real question is, how or what will it mean to be human in the future? Some philosophers assumed that the humans in the future would be post-humans, whose their basic capacity exceeds what present humans have, and they are no longer humans by our current standards, as an essential alien or immortal thing that's out of this world. According to the French philosopher Lyotard, who's expecting the extinct of a human race, as he said, but in what remains after the solar explosion, there won't be any humanness, there won't be living creatures, there won't be intelligent, sensitive, sentient earthlings to bear witness to it, since they and their earthly horizon will have been consumed. Therefore, he assumed that the post-human should be a being that survives the solar explosion. Woodward, 2016. While others' vision for humans in the future as the cyberpunk subgenre shows like the Black Mirror series episode called San Junipero 2016 that was written by Charlie Brooker, who imagined humans as brains uploaded on humongous online data that takes them to live in a virtual perfect world, in addition of how he showed us the struggle of the human character named Kelly for taking the decision of either dying as a human or living eternally in the virtual world as post-human, while the other character, Yorkie, who's been in a coma 40 years ago and desperately looking for a way to be permitted to live her lost life in the virtual world. Moreover, we can relate what Kelly went through was the conflict between humanism and post-humanism, while on the other hand we can derive that in some medical cases like Yorkie's, post-humanism can be a big hope. Additionally, in both characters' stories, we saw how being in a virtual world didn't prevent them of being themselves or vanish their human identities. Another example for the cyberpunk subgenre is the Blade Runner movie, 1982, was written by Philip K. Dick, who portrayed bioengineered humans defined as enhanced copy of humans that were invented to be slavery for humans, which pictured the controversial world that claims to preserve human rights by following this method. In contrast, Catherine Hales, an English professor in University of California, said, "The physics of virtual writing illustrates how our perceptions change when we work with computers on a daily basis. We do not need to have software sockets inserted into our heads to become cyborgs. We already are cyborgs in the sense that we experience through the integration of our bodily perceptions and motions with computer architectures and topologies, a changed sense of subjectivity." Hales 1999. She argues that the huge interactivity between humans and technology nowadays has transformed us into post-humans, and she considered the visions that were mentioned before and what's similar to them as an upgrade or development for that post-human that we are, except that she argues with science fiction where described that it's possible to separate the body and mind, then download the brain on data, as she mentioned that our minds are connected to our bodies. Irrevocably, there is no way to disconnect the body from mind, and concluded saying that we are the medium and the medium is us. Relevant question is, are we ready to give up our human identity? I assume that some people aren't, and they for sure don't have to be forced to. But will they be able to deal with the posthumans as they deal with each other? Will they feel empathy towards them? An example of a similar story were mentioned in The Bodies of Tomorrow, Technologies, Subjectivity, Science Fiction book, where every human has a jewel, which is artificial neural net that monitors the brain processes, and it's trained to be just like you until you decide to take the control. That story conveys that as long as the jewel and the human shares the same sensory input, everything will go as planned. But the moment they separated, neither the jewel or the human will feel sympathy for each other, as none of them know if the other one is real. Vent 2007, an example that led us to keep in mind that there could be possibility for the humans and post-humans to not correspond. Postmodernism is a double-edged case that clarifies the fragility of the work that crosses the boundaries, and science fiction opens up the chance for exploration and warnings of exceeding the limits, and the urge of developing an ethically responsible model of post-human subjectivity to ensure that those humans' modifications will make us more human than we are.